Hey everybody, Chris Doyle from the Business and Beyond channel here. I'm just making a quick video. Well, number one, because we had some complications with our guest for the week. We've thus rescheduled, but I have been wanting to make this video for some time now, just to kind of give the audience, like the viewers, a little bit more of an idea of what the channel is, like who I am, and kind of what we're about, right? So the channel is, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's business and beyond, right? So we talk a lot about business, entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, investing, economics, but anything beyond that. So, there could be people like, we had Johnny DeJulius on a couple weeks ago. And some people may say, hey, what does Johnny have to do with business? Well, number one, he has a business, right? And number two, he just has a great mindset toward life and business itself. A lot of different things people can relate to. We've had different investors on. You guys would know Seth and Mo from Everything Money. We are trying to work with Paul Gabriel to have him on later in the year. So that's also coming up. So really the channel, I don't want to keep it to one specific audience. Like it is geared toward people who are looking in the business-y area, but it's really for anybody who wants to find a little bit of motivation, inspiration, or wants to have a little bit more business savviness, I guess you could say. So how the channel really started. We started this channel with my buddy Dominic DeFranco, who used to work here at Liberty Home Mortgage. We had this idea back in September of 2021. We pitched the idea to our CEO, Hash Sagafi, in October of 2021. And then our first episode was with Marcus Ogden, former NFL football player. That was our first episode. And as the channel has kind of grown, we've definitely gotten more exposure to, different guests, as well as a wider audience and everything. But as we grow, I do want to get more feedback from people who are actually watching. So, should we try and look at different people from out of state, or, maybe people who are in sports, like NFL football players or baseball players, professional baseball players. And the feedback's huge. So if you guys want to just comment on the video or just tell me what you guys are looking for, I'll do it. I love doing this stuff. Like podcasting it's a really freaking good time. It's really not hard either. Just having a freaking conversation with people about life and business and their mindset and their philosophies and everything. But yeah, so everything's going really well with the channel, and I'm super excited to see it grow and seeing where it's going to take us. And huge shout out to Stevie behind the scenes, who is pretty much running the damn show for me. Stevie. So she's doing so much for this thing, you guys. I would not be able to do this without her. So again, Stevie, thank you so much for being able to do this for us. But I don't know if it's, hey, should we go and travel somewhere to go meet a guest? Like if it's in Houston, Texas, or, do we do a Zoom and try and get like somebody like Mark Cuban on, to try and talk to him. I don't know. I don't really know where the podcast is going to take me. All I know is I like doing it. People seem to enjoy it. It is definitely, I think, helping inspire more people to get into business, or maybe take the leap of faith to go start a job or to start their own company maybe. I don't know. Whatever it is, I just know that I want to be like the Cleveland podcaster, right? Just how Joe Rogan owns the podcasting world. I want to help grow the Cleveland podcast, that Cleveland presence. If you're in the Cleveland area and you know of anybody, not necessarily just Cleveland, really Northeast Ohio, Akron, Cleveland, even Columbus area, who's willing to make a drive up to have an in-person conversation, please let us know. My email is in the description box. So if you want to email, if you want to look us up on Instagram or Facebook and DM us, that's also fine. But I don't know, like anybody who's who you think would stand out and have a good conversation with me, I'd love to reach out and see if we can schedule them. The only other part really is just to get to know your guest, I suppose. So again, my name is Chris Doyle. I grew up in Akron, Ohio. Before moving to Greene, I went to school in Greene, Ohio, graduated in 2014, where I eventually ended up wrestling. So I've wrestled my entire life, right? I ended up going to Baldwin Wallace University, which is the best freaking university on planet Earth. I'm serious. But anyway, so I went to BW and wrestled all 4 years there. I was a two-time national qualifier, one-time All-American. I had some really great internships. The Center for Innovation and Growth for one. My major was in business and business management. My minor was in economics. I was about a few credits away from getting my minor in German. So right after graduation, so I graduated in May of 2018, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I had a business degree, but I didn't really know what that meant. Does it mean I go into marketing? Does it mean maybe I should go back to school, or, do I do consulting or sales or something, right? And I really didn't know what that was. And so I was job hunting for a while before I was able to try and really figure out, what I wanted to do. So I knew that doing a lot of the business network, like going to networking events, was never a bad idea. So I would find myself maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks going to different networking groups to see, hey, is anybody looking to hire this kid right out of college? So it wasn't until around end of April, or actually, no, it was like the beginning. I'm sorry, it was the beginning of April where I went to what's called a Wrestlers in Business Network that was hosted by Aaron Grossman. And if anybody watching this recalls, we had Aaron Grossman on a couple episodes ago to talk about, his story. And in that podcast, I did talk about, hey, how I actually came to my current job at Liberty Home Mortgage through Aaron Grossman. So through the networking event, Aaron had a brief conversation about who he was, what his business was, what he's doing. And after the talk, I went up and just was like, "Hey, Aaron, like I really enjoyed what you had to say. I didn't really want to get into recruiting. That wasn't really what I wanted to do, but I wanted to ask him and see if he had any referrals or references rather, to see if there were any other wrestlers in the Cleveland area that were hiring that he knew of. And he told me, hey, Chris, listen, if you're looking to find a job that you really want to do, and there are always wrestlers who are hiring, right? So go to the Wrestlers in Business Networking page and just scroll down and see if anybody is looking to hire, what you're looking for. So the next day I went on to the WIBN website, their page, and I saw this one guy named Hesh Sagafi. He's a CEO of a company called Liberty Home Mortgage, and he was looking for loan officers. And at the time, I'm like, what the hell is a loan officer? Like, am I gonna get a gun or something like that? But I mean, obviously not. But nonetheless, his number was there. So I just was like, screw it. I mean, I'm just going to try and see if I can get a phone call with him. So I just called him up and I said, as I was waiting, my heart's pumping, right? I don't even know what I'm going to say. And Stacy, his assistant at the time, picked up the phone. I said, hey, my name's Chris Doyle. I was looking for Hesh Sagafi. She said, oh, he'll be back in a few hours. Can I take a message? And I said, Stacy, I was looking for Hesh. He put a job advertisement out on the Wrestlers in Business Network, and I was hoping to have a conversation with him to see if he would hire me, or if that was a good fit for me. And Stacy just goes, "Oh, hey, you're looking for a job? Okay, well, tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you?" And in that moment, you'd always prepared for your elevator pitch. in college, I remember in my business 101 class, my professor literally told me, "Hey, be ready for your elevator pitch. You never know when it's going to come." And she literally said, "Oh, tell me about yourself." And I thought this was like 30 seconds or 40 seconds that went by. Not really, but it felt like it. And I didn't know what to say. All I knew at the time was Hesh was a wrestler. He owned a successful business, and I wanted to work for him. After doing research on him and his company, and all I said was, well, I wrestled in college, and I was an All-American there. And Stacy goes, "Oh, you were a wrestler?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh my gosh, you're absolutely hired. I'll make sure that you get in here." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." But I'd still like to go talk to him. He's like, "All right, no problem. I'll make sure we get in contact." So I'm just pretty sweating bullets at this point. Hesh calls me back a couple hours later. He wants me to meet him that Friday, and I go ahead and go to the office. Now, I preach a lot about company culture and how important that is. When I got to Liberty Home Mortgage for the first time, I was suit, tie, resume printed on nice resume paper, and ready to go ahead and shake hands with all these suit and tied people, right, for mortgage company. Well, when I go ahead and go through the doors and open up, the Liberty Home Mortgage door, right, everyone's in joggers and shorts and t-shirts, and there's TVs, 55-inch TVs everywhere, and people just laughing, not, some people not by their desks. And I just thought that was so strange. I was like, is this the right place? I don't know if I'm in the right location. And so I looked at the door again, and I was like, dude, this clearly says Liberty Home Mortgage. And I forget who went up to me. I texted Hesh. I said, "I'm here." And I remember him saying, like, "Oh, I'll be there in a minute." So I sat down. I was just observing. There's Nerf guns everywhere, darts everywhere, and stuff like that. And Hesh came up to me. He's well, I saw this guy walk up to me in a Brecksville Wrestling shorts and an Oklahoma State T-shirt. And I was like, "Dude, who is this guy?" I was like, "Is this Hesh?" I was like, "Is this actually him?" So he comes, shakes my hand. He's like, "Come into my office," and we talk and everything. And as I'm just listening, I'm like, dude, I don't even know everything there is to know about being a loan officer or mortgages or anything like this. I just have this weird feeling that this is the place that I need to be. And I'm not like super spiritual or, as big into the universe as some other people, but I just had a feeling that this company is where I need to be. Like, I need to be here. And I don't care what I have to do to work for this man, but I'm going to do it. So I have to pass a test. I go ahead and take our what's called the SAFE test to be a loan originator. So it's the Secure and Fair Enforcement Act test. It's a set of like 150 questions. You have to score at least a 75. I failed twice. I passed on my third time. Once I passed on my third time, I ended up starting in August of 2018. So I was living with my aunt and uncle at Westlake, working as a dishwasher, making $9 an hour as a dishwasher while I'm studying for my SAFE test for like 2-3 months. And I just remember thinking, like, dude, what a freaking joke this is. Like, I have a college degree, could have worked at any other company, and I'm like making $9 an hour as a dishwasher, breaking plates and cleaning up people's puke, right? Well, and not exactly the idea that I had of what corporate America or making, millions and millions of dollars right after college would be like. And but again, I had this idea. I kept going back to the idea, like, I want to work at this place. I want to work at Liberty Home Mortgage. This is what I want to do. I'm not going to stop. And I just kept telling myself that and kept persisting. And eventually I passed the test, started. And then, I started August of 2018. I was the third highest producer in inside sales in 2019, the highest producer in inside sales in 2020, and the highest producer in 2021. We'll see what happens this year. And it's been a really good ride so far, and I love what I do. I love helping people purchase homes and finance homes and advise them on what they need to do to be able to achieve the American dream. Guys, that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about the podcast and, what you guys want. I mean, please like, share. I really am trying to grow this thing as much as I can to be able to, really grow the channel and make a name for not just myself, but, for the channel and everybody who's associated with it. And I don't know. I just have a good love for Cleveland and a good love for, where I live. And I'd love to see, this have more of an impact on the country and everything. Your support helps a lot. So yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching.